Hey, good morning. Welcome back. This is The Smoke. My name is John. It's early Saturday morning, and I'm going to hopefully give you some useful information, useful practical tool that you can use whenever you like to change your state of being to a more better state, excited, happy, at ease, lightness. If you haven't been here before, then you know, then you don't know, I should say. But here at The Smoke, our mission really is to just offer practical techniques, tools, knowledge, information for the everyday person with a target on first responders. Being a first responder myself, I often have state changes just as a part of the job. Go from a relaxed state to a very hectic state. Go from a safe place to a very dangerous place. This takes a toll on your mind. As humans, we like to be kind of equal, level. We want to know what to expect. And as first responders, and even just in life for regular people, often we get thrown curveballs. In the fire service, a little more dangerous at times than your average curveball. But nonetheless, if you're a fireman, if you're a law enforcement officer, if you work in a hospital, if you just have kids, if you have a business that stresses you out, here's something that will help you, okay? This is not a very long practice. I'd say at most, if you wanted to take it, you could take it about 10 minutes. It's an interesting practice because I call it, or I kind of associate it as medium intensity. Now, if we did full yogic breathing or 3-part breaths where we're breathing into our belly and then our chest and then up into the clavicle here, that in itself is a breath work. We're working to expand the lungs. I've made a video about the 3-part breath if you want to check it out. Either way, I've also talked about the real benefit of the Wim Hof method of breathing, which is one of my favorite. However, if you don't know who Wim Hof is and you've never done the breathing, then you'll quickly understand that Wim Hof is a very intense individual, and intense for all the right reasons, but intense nonetheless. And then his breathing method, the Wim Hof method, is intense. Essentially, you're hyperventilating yourself, and if there was any work in breath work, that would probably be the most intense form of it, because you're actively inhaling as much as you can and exhaling as much as you can, or not even really exhaling as much as you can, but just letting it go. But the act of trying to pull in as much air as possible, as many times as you do, is not a normal, rate of respiration, and hence the work. So I've showed people in and around, my world, this Wim Hof method. And one thing I find is that, little sidebar here, anybody who knows me knows I'm just by nature, I'm pretty intense. I'm like balls to the wall. It's like, if we're going to do it, let's do it. Let's not ease into it. Let's just get to where we got to go. I understand that not everybody's like this. So, it serves me well in my career. It serves me well for my personality, kind of fiery and passionate about things. But not everyone's like that, so I understand that. So how do we incorporate the people who are a little hesitant? Because myself, even being as fiery as I can be at times, I get anxious. I've mentioned this before in a video. I get a small amount of anxiousness whenever doing the Wim Hof too. And I believe it's just from that level of intensity. Because for me, it always unlocks something new, something different. It's like a deeper state of being, a deeper realization. It's an amazing thing. And if you like Wim Hof and you're doing it, just keep doing it and do it daily, because the benefits are 10x, and you couldn't even really list them all. It's one of the best things that you can do for yourself, health, well-being, mental, all facets of life as a human being, okay? All right, but getting back to it, I know not everyone's down for that, or at least at the first time, right? So if three-part breathing or yogic breathing is kind of not intense enough, and then you have Wim Hof, which is too intense, you know, I've often done something different, which goes by many different names, DMT breathing, holotropic breathing, or what my teacher calls it, Soma breathing, which for me, I really consider it a very middle ground in between our three-part breath, which is a little bit more slow, a little more relaxed and controlled, and then our Wim Hof breath, which is more intense. We're getting serious air in, and then we're having serious retention at the end, and generating a lot of energy through that work of the breath. So if you are looking for something along the same lines, and it's not as intense as Wim Hof breathing, it's called Soma breathing, and we can do it really quickly on our own. And really what we're going to do is we're going to breathe through the nose and out the mouth. And it's the same mechanism as Wim Hof breathing, same mechanism as the three-part breath or the yogic breath, whereas, you know, we're getting a whole bunch of oxygen in, we're oxygenating, and then at the end, we'll release all of the air out, and we'll just sit for as long as we can, and we'll feel the tingles, and we'll feel the oxygen absorption. And this will take us to an elevated state and just clear the mind. And really, if you're depressed at all, you'll be feeling great after this. And if you're feeling down, you'll feel energized. And again, this one isn't as intense, so it's a little bit more accessible for people. And then from here, you'll want to, at some point, graduate to Wim Hof. All right? So let's just start. If you want, you can sit in a chair, at the table, on your bed, whatever it is. I'm sitting in my yogic, I don't know what you would call it, my cross-legged position. I don't really like dropping many yogic terms here because it's not a yogic channel. A lot of what I show you guys is derived from yoga. But yoga, just being called yoga, unfortunately for most of the masses, it denotes a connotation of something different that's outside of them, and that they're not privy to, or they don't want to associate with, and that's fine, because at the end of the day, you don't have to call it yoga. You can call it Jack in the Box if you want to, but if it's beneficial, then do it and make your life good, right? Okay, so let's just get it over. I think I talked enough. So really, what you're gonna do is, if you want, you can purge the lungs with a deep inhale and just like a ventilation breath, or purge the lungs. And then from here, we're just gonna start, and you're gonna do about 30. And also, this is the type of breathing where you can do as much as you want, to where you feel like, hey, I'm good, and now I'm gonna take a deep inhalation, and I'll let it all out, and I'll just relax. So we just kind of start in and out. Here we go. As you can see, it's not as intense. Just in the nose, out the mouth. You can close your eyes and kind of put your focus inside if you meditate. This is a good meditative practice as well. I'm gonna close my eyes now, and then once I get to about 30, we'll take a deep breath in, and then we'll just relax all the muscles, and we'll let all the air out, and we'll just sit until it's comfortable. You can do this 3 times, you can do this 5 times, you can do this 10 times. This is more accessible than the Wim Hof method. So let me finish this round with you guys, just so you know how it looks. Here we go. As a matter of fact, we'll start a new one, whole new one. Here we go. I'm gonna shut my eyes. All right. Prepare for the retention. Big deep breath in. And let it all out. Relax the body. Relax the mind. Just relax. Inhale. All right, so that was one round of Soma breathing. As you can tell, there's not much to it. What it is doing is oxygenating you and then ultimately bringing you to a more elevated, lighter state of being. It's an amazing practice when you're through with however many rounds you want to do. If you're a meditator, it's a great start for meditation. It just brings you into a very balanced, light state of being. Again, this can be done anytime. If you have a bad call, if you're feeling yourself in a heightened state that you don't want to be in, maybe you want to bring it down a little bit, ground. Maybe you need some energy, because as grounding as this practice is, it's also energizing as well. So again, this is a practice I would consider to be kind of middle ground between yogic breathing and then the intensity of the Wim Hof breath. If you are someone who's looking for a means of elevation, a means of de-stress, a means of just overall feeling better and well-being, this is a practice that can go anywhere from 2 minutes to 10 to 15, whatever you want to make it, however long it will be, it will benefit you. Again, this is Soma Breathing. Check it out. My teacher's Andrew. You guys know him at Refill Yoga. If you haven't checked out his techniques, there's plenty of things over there that will benefit you in a way that's not yoga. I mean, I love Andrew's approach because he offers it in both ways, where if you want to be extremely yogic and go inside and understand the philosophy and the wisdom of it, you can do that. But also if you want it to be just a practical thing that benefits you from day to day, and you don't want to know the Eastern knowledge and the Eastern wisdom behind it, that's accessible to you too. So make sure you guys check out Andrew and Clelia at Refill Yoga. I'll continuously shout them out. Tremendous benefit to me. Again, you don't have to be a yogi to check them out either. Just do some of the techniques and get your body right, get your mind right. Feel good about this life. This life is an amazing thing. Cherish it. Enjoy it. Mind and body. I love you guys. This is The Smoke. See you next time.